In this video tutorial, you'll learn how to change input names, reconfigure binary outputs and LED indication, and specify event recording, disturbance recording, and perform other signal settings. Before starting to work with the configuration, it is recommended that you watch the video tutorial opening and saving of configuration file. To edit binary inputs of the IED, open the Binary Inputs section. The signal name specified here will be displayed in the event recorder, disturbance recorder, when diagnosing the status of inputs in the smart monitor software or on the front panel of the IED, as well as when setting the binary output and indication matrices. For example, if you need to use a reserve input in the IED, you can rename it in accordance with the requirements of the project. It is also possible to change the existing signal names. Changes made are displayed in red until the configuration is saved. By unchecking the box in the Binary Input Enabled column, the binary input is disabled. When the binary input is disabled, the signal takes on the value set by the user in the Value When Disabled column. The green color of the icon sets the signal value equal to a logical 1, the white color is equal to a logical 0. The signal value is inverted by checking the box in the Invert column. When the box is checked and the nominal voltage is present at the binary input, the signal value will be equal to logical 0, and in the absence of voltage, to logical 1. It is also possible to enable or disable signal inversion. If the box is unchecked, signal inversion will not be available through the Binary Inputs section of the Smart Monitor software. A similar setting is made for signals of virtual modules. Virtual modules are necessary for use in the logic of signals received, for example, via goose messages, MMS commands, or from electronic switch from the front panel of the IED. For offset from contact bounce and interference, time delays are provided for operate of the binary input, by default equal to 15 milliseconds. Time delays for release are also provided, by default equal to 6 milliseconds. Time delays can be changed in the range from 0 to 9,999 milliseconds in increments of 1 millisecond. To change time delays of all binary inputs at once, enter the values in the upper area of this tab. Similar settings are available through the Smart Monitor software in the Digital Inputs Settings section. To edit logical signals, open section IED Signals table. Service diagnostic signals are located at the top of the list. Next are the signals of measuring elements and protections. After them, the signals of binary and virtual inputs. Then there are logical signals. The address column specifies the address of the signal from the logic circuit. The description parameter is filled in to identify the signal when setting up digital communication protocols, when analyzing the event recorder, and when working in the event recorder and disturbance recording sections. Please note that setting the name for service signals and signals of measuring elements is not available, and the name of the signals of binary inputs is specified in a Binary Inputs section. Also in this section, by checking the box for the corresponding signal, the assignment is performed for event recording, disturbance recording, and start of the disturbance recorder, except for some service signals. The box in the Latching and PCS column is checked for short-term generated signals transmitted via the Modbus protocol. And when checking the boxes in the Warning Alarm or Emergency Alarm column, these signals will generate service signals Warning Alarm or Emergency Alarm, respectively. Service signals of warning and emergency alarm can be used similarly to the signals of the IED signals table. You can also add a new logical signal from the logic to the signals table by clicking on the Add button. By default, the signal is added to the end of the list of logical signals with a unique address assigned. If necessary, the signal can be added to any part of the list of logical signals by selecting the signal that is higher in the list from the desired address and clicking on the Add button. By right-clicking on a logical signal, additional actions will be available with the following options: add a new signal, delete the signal, clone a signal, specify a group setting, set an address or name for a group of signals, or all lower standing signals and move the group of inputs up or down. Let's go to the logic circuit, and the added signals with the blue address will be displayed in the signals table, which indicates that there is no signal with this address in the logic circuit. Then we take a signal from the logic circuit that needs to be used, for example, for transmission via digital communication protocols or assignment to the binary output, and specify the address of the logical signal in the address field of the signals table and specify the name of the signal. After that, the added signal can be used similarly to the rest of the signals in the IED signals table. If the logic signal is not specified in the signals table or is not assigned to the input of another logic element, then the signal will be displayed in blue. Assigning the action of logical signals to binary outputs of the IED is carried out in the matrix of binary outputs section. Editing of LED indication on the front panel of the IED is carried out in the indication matrix section. The principle of working with both sections is the same. Let's consider the example of the matrix of binary output. Each tab of the section corresponds to the module of outputs specified in the modules section. Logical signals are located horizontally, binary outputs are located vertically. When the matrix box is checked, the logical signal is assigned to the binary output. Several signals can be assigned to the outputs and vice versa. One signal can be assigned to several binary outputs. Depending on the IED version, some of the binary outputs may not be available for editing in order to avoid disrupting the operation of the main factory functions, and editing will not be available through the Smart Monitor software and through the IED display. For each binary output, the latching mode can be specified, in which the signal at the output is latched and reset only by the alarm reset command. A checked box in the relay parameter indicates the presence of a physical relay on the module installed in the IED and is used, for example, to identify binary outputs when configuring combined modules. Also in this section there are two functional buttons, Edit Module Signals, which allows you to rename binary outputs, and the Active Signals button. It hides all logical signals, except for those that are already assigned to binary outputs. When editing the names of LEDs and output relays, the names will automatically change in the Modules tab and vice versa. When editing the names in the Modules section, the names will automatically change in the tabs of the indication matrix and matrix of binary output. When setting the indication matrix, you can choose the color of the LED, red or green. After editing the name and purpose of LEDs, it is necessary to change the labels describing the purpose of LEDs on the front panel of the IED. Label templates are available on the technical support site in the Documents section. Also in sections Matrix of Binary Output and Indication Matrix, there is a parameter changing signal assignment. If the box is not checked for this parameter, it will not be possible to change the signal assignment through the Smart Monitor software and through the IED display. To diagnose the state and operation of internal functions of the IED, diagnostic signals are available, the action of which can be assigned to the relay of the IED, to LED indication, used in the logic circuit or transmitted via digital communication protocols. To use a signal, go to the System Events section, select the required signal from the events of the functional processor or communication processor and check the box next to it in the Send to Logic column. Then, on the logic circuit find element CP events or FP events, depending on the affiliation of the added signal. The output of the added signal will be marked with a blue cross. We open the context menu by pressing the right mouse button and select the Properties item. We assign a unique address to the added signal, which will be used in the logic in the future. For convenience, we recommend setting the value of the signal name in the address. After that, in the IED Signals Table section, add a new signal. And we will specify the address and the name assigned in the logic circuit. The signal is now available for assigning action to binary outputs and LED indication. In the Modules section, you can edit the names of input and output module signals, as well as add new virtual modules from the library. When adding a virtual module, 16 logical signals will automatically be added to the IED signals table, for which all the above options are available. Virtual input modules are used to receive signals via digital data transmission protocols, the setting of which will be discussed in the following video tutorials. When editing of configuration is complete, you need to save it using the File menu or by clicking on the Save button on the toolbar. This video tutorial is over. We hope it was useful to you. Thank you for attention.